Today, I really don't want to do a video like I always do. I kind of just want to do a less formal one, but still approaching a subject that is important to talk about. While everybody is focused on the current wars of today and the foreseen things that will come after that, right now I want to talk about something that is going to happen in that same time frame over several years, slowly, until it approaches the main front or the front line of the media headlines. To at which point it would probably be a lot worse than just slow war. And what I'm talking about here is the fighting between Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates. The two have moved between quiet competition and subtle rivalries to a more open, visible phase during the last half year to a year. And it's believed that over the next several years, we will see slow escalations rather than just one sudden event. However, because we live in the world and how anything can happen, anything can turn that situation far worse than it already is into something where it gets that bad. The main areas of escalation where you could kind of see the writing on the wall for this are the Red Sea, the oil and OPEC policy, the Yemen area that's currently being contested by both places, wanting different means of end goals, the Horn of Africa influence, AI, logistics, and tourism, and the competition there. And finally, the differences in alliances that they have with different nations. And before going any further, we should probably get into each of those one by one. Okay, so for the Red Sea and Horn Africa influence, we'll start there, and I'm going to bottle them together as they are connected in regards to location. Obviously, both of these countries are competing competitively inside the countries as a means of production and tourism and such. And the Red Sea is becoming a major place of contention in the last couple of years. And especially now with the shutting down of Strait of Hormuz, you may see how Israel is so on board with closing down the Hormuz Strait permanently. That's because they have one port on the Red Sea that would get, and along with other ports, that would get a lot more traction in that area. Maritime access, mercantilism is on the rise, and control of these networks really matters. The instability in Sudan is pushed by the UAE because the UAE is a group that pushes for activism or acting first or making moves of dominance, while Saudi Arabia prefers stabilization and slow sustainability and development. And so both of these countries that started together, working together, having alliances and goals, are at this point of friction in areas like Yemen and on the Red Sea and other stuff we will get to later. The Somalian influence destabilize Ethiopia and mess with Ethiopia, part of a bigger goal for the UAE, just like how for the UAE, part of destabilizing Sudan is profitable. And finally, just like how in Yemen right now, the destabilizing and the funding of proxy militia groups to destabilize the country does not really meet with the goal of Saudi Arabia for Yemen. And so you will see friction in the future there because both groups have different goals, and there's going to be a time where it gets worse for the Yemenites, and that is when it'll reach our headlines. But to finish up with the Red Sea, we have trade corridors, we have politics between Ethiopia and the Nile, Eritrea positioning its military, and we have the importance of controlling these ports. The Red Sea is becoming one of the most contested areas in 2026. And while the Gulf Alliance was stable through a fear of Iran and wanting to just have a stable Muslim alliance, we are now seeing fractures where they're shifting loyalties throughout all these countries, and we're seeing a divide and a shift, and it's leaving up a couple questions, and that question being, who will be the dominant power between these two? And if you wanted my opinion on that, the American politics has not changed since the time of Charles de Gaulle, and we will continue to do that. We are going to turn a blind eye. We will support the United Arab Emirates out of all these other countries. We will not help Ethiopia. We'll turn a blind eye there too. And another place where we could see the writing on the wall for these conflicts is for oil and OPEC policy, because the United Arab Emirates, which while they have been dominant with the Emiratis planes for the longest time, Saudi Arabia is trying to change with their new Riyadh Express that they're pouring billions and billions into. And the UAE no longer wants to be a smaller partner. Now, right now, both countries are doing a lot of expansion and modern infrastructure and trying to secure themselves. But I think the real worry is if Iran continues to destabilize these countries, because both of them are fearful of what Iran is doing to them. And truthfully, I think that we're all playing losing games, where one day there will be snaked by Israel and America. Saudi Arabia's time will come sooner than the UAE, but they will come too. And I think it's very just sad that the writing is on the wall, and yet we still decide to kick the can further down the road. And for us in America and for us in other countries, these things may not matter now, but one day these things will matter, because escalations will continue and things will get worse for the people of Yemen as the United Arab Emirates continues to try to establish revolts and destruction in the country. And things will get worse while nobody does anything to stop them, just like how they continued in Sudan. And this video is not to be a deep dive on the topic. This video is for me to take 30 minutes out of my day. This is for me to take maybe 2 hours out of a day to get this video out and maybe get some more people aware of this. I could definitely do a better job, but hopefully somebody else covers this too. And so, I don't want to waste your time. I will be leaving now. You guys have a great rest of your day.